"I bet I can easily beat you," the rabbit said with a sneer. "You'll be crawling while I'm already at the finish line sipping my carrot juice." The tortoise knew he couldn't win a race against speedier animals, so he just smiled and kept on walking. After a while, the rabbit noticed that the tortoise was still walking steadily towards the finish line, although he was moving very slowly, and the rabbit thought to himself, "Hey, maybe I took on more than I can chew. I don't really want to exert myself. Maybe I should take it easy and still win." So the rabbit slowed down and started hopping alongside the tortoise. The tortoise saw that the hare was slowing down, but he didn't know why. He continued to move forward at his steady pace, thinking that maybe the hare was being nice and helping him out. A little further ahead, a squirrel was sitting on a tree branch watching the race. She was rooting for the hare, but she noticed that he had slowed down and that the tortoise was catching up. So the squirrel shouted from the tree, "Hey, rabbit, if you think you're going to lose to that slow poke, then you better speed up." Hearing this, the hare panicked. He thought to himself, "Oh no, I have to win. I can't let that tortoise beat me." And with a burst of energy, the hare sped off down the path. He was so focused on winning that he didn't notice that the tortoise had stopped. The hare reached the finish line first and stood there panting heavily, only to realize that the tortoise had disappeared. He looked around and spotted the tortoise taking a well-deserved rest under a shady tree. The hare walked up to the tortoise and asked, "Hey, where did you go?" The tortoise opened his eyes slowly and said, "I took a shortcut." The hare couldn't believe his ears. He thought, "How could the tortoise take a shortcut? He's so slow. There's no way he could have beaten me." The hare looked at the path and realized that the tortoise had used a narrow animal trail that went straight to the finish line, while he had taken the longer and harder route. The tortoise explained, "When you make fun of others and boast about yourself, you might end up losing the race even if you are the fastest." The hare felt embarrassed and ashamed. He had not only lost the race, but he had also learned a valuable lesson. From that day on, the hare never made fun of the tortoise again, and they became good friends. And that is the story of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise won the race because he was persistent and never gave up. Even though he was slow, he was steady and eventually reached the finish line. On the other hand, the hare lost the race because he was overconfident and arrogant. He thought that he was too fast to lose to a slow tortoise, but he underestimated his opponent and paid the price for it. This story teaches us that we should never make fun of someone who is weaker or slower than us, because they might surprise us with their strength and determination. It also teaches us that it is important to be humble and never boast about ourselves, because we might end up falling flat on our faces. Lastly, it reminds us that slow and steady wins the race. With hard work and dedication, we can achieve our goals even if we are not the most talented or gifted. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.